not afraid to let's get it.
Because it's 49er mind.
We gotta do this one time for the Empire.
It's 49er mind. It's 49er mind.
We gotta get that brick by brick real quick.
49er mind.
Yeah. Yo, we can't listen to them haters, man.
49er mind.
We from the Bay.
49er mind.
We them San Francisco 49ers.
49er mind.
We got that red and gold blood inside us.
49er mind.
Oh yeah, freak out, yeah, I'm looking right into the video scope, and this is Macho Man, #1 Macho Man impersonator, past, present, future, yeah, and I'm here to tell you, you are watching 49er Minded with Bashar, yeah, the cream of the crop, dig it?
What is up, everybody? I know it's been a while. Welcome to another edition of 49er Minded. Happy New Year to everybody. I didn't wish anybody Merry Christmas, but Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. We're getting the year started off with a bang. I'm pretty excited because we beat the Houston Texans. Trey Lance's second start. It's only his second start. And we're definitely going to talk about it. And I'm really excited to talk about this game because I have a good friend of mine. His name is Aaron. He also has a show, 49ers First Takes, on YouTube. If you're not subscribed to him, if you don't know about him, check him out. I have his video links and his links to his social media in the video link of this description of this video. Definitely check it out. I'm going to bring him on right now. What's up, dude? Aaron, how's it going? I see you got your new professional podcaster mic, Brock. That's the same mic that Joe Rogan uses on his podcast, by the way.
Yeah, I had to spend a little money for it.
That's like that.
Nobody knows how much I spent, but I spent quite a bit.
That's like the Rolls Royces of mics, man. just let anybody know out there. Yeah, so crazy, man. Trey Lance finally gets on the field. And, a lot of people will. I pretty much was thinking the whole season that the 49ers were pretty much committing to Jimmy. They're trying to bump up and get trade value for him. And, a lot of fans, half of the fan base was pretty upset about that idea. They were anxious to see Trey Lance. They kept thinking Trey Lance was the better quarterback. Of course, I know Trey Lance is more upside, but it was still kind of an unknown who really is the better quarterback right now. Because that argument was definitely up for debate. And we finally got to see. We didn't expect Jimmy to not play the rest of the season. We pretty much thought we were going to ride it out with Jimmy just to get some type of trade value for him, but other fans in the Trey Lance camp kept thinking we're not going to get anything good for him anyway, so why play him? So what do you think about that whole scenario?
I can see both sides of the argument. I see why Jimmy is the starter as far as how fluid the offense runs when he's in there. And, they're able to move the ball easier and, score some points here and there. But the thing with Jimmy is he has that ceiling and he has that, you've seen what you're going to see from Jimmy, and Trey is such, he's so raw, but yet, during the course of this game, you kind of saw that upward trajectory of what he can do, how he can extend plays. And then, find a guy like the play to Debo towards the end of the game that kind of sealed it for us was just the thing that why I love him so much is that, once he gets more like solid in the pocket and he's able to kind of go through his reads quicker and make quicker decisions, he's going to look so much more refined, but you can kind of see that little pieces of it. But I also understand why Jimmy was a starter all year, because Jimmy knows the offense so well. He's a quick release guy, gets the ball out quick, whether it's a good pass or not. And, but man, I kind of expected what we got today from Trey, which was a slow start. And then as the game went on, he would warm up, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, pretty much. I was telling people for quite some time, like whenever we do see Trey again, sure we will see some big plays here and there, but initially what we'll probably see is a lot of mistakes because Number one, he's a rookie, and he's a rookie who barely got to step on the field the whole year. I mean, it's only a given that he's going to make mistakes. But with that said, let me say what's up to some people, some very faithful 49er faithful in the chat, very faithful to the show. Waruna Pereira, what's up, dude? He says Trey Area. He's a writer for All 49ers SI. If you go to All 49ers SI or look up Waruna on Twitter, you can find him there. You can read his articles on All 49ers SI. And we got Elias Lopez says Trey Area again. Everybody's saying Trey Area. Trey Area. All right, here we go. David McNew says, I wiped my feet. He hit that like button. Says, let's go 49ers, beat the Lambs. Yeah, we do got to beat the Lambs. We got their number with Shanahan and company, but, do we beat them again? That's the question. And it's in SoFi, which I do like to call Levi's South. So that's going to be fun. And we got John. I don't know who this is, but hey, welcome to the channel. Says, great win, Niner faithful. $1 million question. Who do we start next week? Well, if I'm the one with the answers, I say Trey Lance. How about you?
It's tough because this is like win or go home pretty much.
It is, right?
I say you ride with Trey.
I mean, the thing is,
he's the future. So if you lose, you at least get to see him again. He's going to be in a big pressure-packed game where it's all for the marbles. So I say if, Jimmy isn't quite 100% and I'd say go with Trey. I mean, if Jimmy is 100% like Kyle was saying, then he's probably going to get the start just because, you don't lose your job to injury, so to speak. But if Jimmy is not quite where he needs to be, you got to go with the kid. And I'm okay with the mistakes and the slow starts because you got to realize that he hasn't played in almost 2 years other than a couple games. So he just needs reps. And if this is what you get with minimal reps, I'll take it. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. So it's like, the thing is with Jimmy's injury, though, they were saying 5 to 6 weeks. And now Ian Rappaport put it out that he might need surgery or could require surgery. So let's say Jimmy does step out there next week. Are you really going to want to see a guy with a messed up hand out there on his throwing hand? I mean, no. I think you played football, right? Because I played football, and in general, you didn't. Okay. Well, maybe you played some flag football on the field.
Backyard tackle football.
Oh, you played some backyard tackle. Okay, when you play backyard tackle football or real football, either way, you fall down a lot. And in any case, you fall down on your hands with your own body weight from time to time. I'm not saying it happens every play, but and then you're a quarterback, you're going to get hit every once in a while. So it's like that hand is not gonna be like clear and free of any contact during the game. I mean, that's his throwing hand. You think he wants to protect it for next season? I don't know what his agent has in mind. Last year his agent and him pretty much said, "Hey, don't finish out the season and just sit out." So we'll see. I mean, that's gonna be really interesting. I'm thinking Trey. I think Trey plays. I mean, from what Kyle said in the press conference, it sounds like Trey's gonna play. I don't know exactly what he said, but something like he said it was almost like he doubts. He threw some words out there that had a lot of doubt in it about whether Jimmy was going to be healthy, was what it was, to play next week. But so I want to say what's up to some big play Slay here, big Eagles fan. I was hoping your team would lose today, man. It was going to help us in the playoff hunt. But actually, I was hoping more for the Saints to lose, to be honest with you, because that would because we won, and if the Saints lost, boom, we clinched. But we gotta now beat the Rams. And if anybody in the chat knows what's going on, Runa might know this. He's a smart guy. I'm not saying that he's the only smart guy in the chat, but he covers the 49ers. He writes for him. What, in terms of next week, in terms of who wins and who loses, does it have any effect on us beating the Rams next week to clinch?
I think from what I saw on Twitter, if Atlanta and New Orleans lose next week, even if we lose, we still get in. I don't know. Somebody answered me. Eric Davis. It was an Eric Davis. He did a Q&A, and Eric Davis asked me, why do you want that? I'm like, I don't. I want us to win. But he's like, yeah, that's what somebody answered, but I'm not 100% positive. So,
yeah, I like Eric Davis' takes, by the way. He always keeps it real, man.
I tried to invite him on the my show the other day, and he responded with the like, but he never messaged me. I'm like, damn.
Okay, yeah. You know what? On Instagram, I jumped on his lives a few times, and he read some of my questions and answered them, but I never went as far as to try to hit him up in that manner. Bigfoot's mom says it's 9-7, baby. What's up, dude? How you doing, man?
It's a great name, by the way.
I know. Or if it's a mom, I don't know if it's a guy or a mom. I don't know. He says, now I believe it correct. If Philly or Saints lose, we win. Correct. Yeah, I'm not sure. My guess is that. So what you were reading on Twitter, did it dictate that regardless of who wins and who loses, as long as we beat the Rams, we're definitely in? Is that
If
that
we
what you
beat
got
the
from-
Rams, we're in. That's what.
Okay. So regardless of what
win and you're in. That's what they said.
Got it. David McNews says Trey Lance is our future and looked pretty good today. I don't like Trey taking those hits.
Me neither.
I don't like any quarterback taking those hits. Now Trey's a bigger body dude, but just because you're a big guy, it doesn't mean that you're not going to get injured. And we saw, Trey just now has his hand healed from that preseason injury against the Raider game. Well, he's been healed for about over a month or so, and from that point on, they said he looked a lot better in practice because of his that part of his hand healing on his throwing hand. And I was kind of expecting Trey to jump right off the bat and look a lot better right off the bat. But I just think with Trey, it's like, I don't know what his psyche is going to the game or how he feels. But if I were in his shoes and I barely played all season and I only had that one start, I would have been nervous out there.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe he was possibly nervous. I'm not trying to say that's an excuse, but just saying, again, we expected a rookie to make mistakes. And, early on we saw mistakes. Yeah, so...
They said on the broadcast it's going to take Kyle and Trey a little bit time to kind of figure out what works best for the both of them. You know what I mean? Like a feeling out process. Like, what plays should I call? What are Trey's strengths? Like, I noticed when they got Trey on the move on like bootlegs and waggles, he's very, very, like, he's good because that's his strength. His strength is his feet and how he can move. You get him on the move, the defense has to respect his ability to run. So that opens up stuff kind of behind the defense. You find those little gaps, those little holes over the top of defenders. So to me, get him on the move, get him some easy throws to start a game, and then you get him warmed up. I feel like he's like a slow starter and he needs to kind of be worked in, screen passes here, this, and that, and then get him going. That's what the observation I came away with.
Did we see any screen passes today? I don't think we did. I thought that would have been nice had we ran a few of those.
You missed one at the end too, Debo.
Yeah, at times the play calls were cool, but at times they were kind of funky. Especially with the run game. But now, don't get me wrong, Elijah Mitchell tore it up. He had over 100 yards. I believe he was, I could pull up the stats later and tell you exactly how much he had. But yeah, so I mean, at times the offense just looked kind of funky with Kyle. Sometimes with Kyle, man, it's so unpredictable with the offense, which is cool in terms of what defenses may not expect. But sometimes I just expect more traditional West Coast offense type plays, and we just do these like funky, wild plays from time to time, and they're great when they work, but they look dumb when they don't work. Like, for example, just certain handoffs to Debo at times were kind of questionable. And what I was
like
thinking,
the one from the shotgun, that was such an elongated handoff that I knew it was going to get stuffed.
Yeah, some of those were kind of weird and funky. I was thinking, like, if you're gonna freaking hand the ball off to Debo or line him up as a running back from time to time, why not run plays where we freaking throw to him out of the backfield from time to time? I think that would be nice. Maybe they have it in their bag, but they haven't done it yet. And Prius Game, welcome to the channel, says you guys have to agree the refs bailed us out a lot today. But you can also go back and look at how many times we were screwed by refs all throughout the season. So
yep, I was telling my brother, it's like sometimes we just get the breaks. It's just one of those days. The Niners got the breaks today.
We lead the league in pass interferences on defense, so it's not like the referees have been kind to us during this season. Yeah. And let's see. Oh, Elias Lopez says, "What's up, Bash? Go Niners, Trey." He's always saying, "What's up?" I even have that Bay Area thing. On my intro song, I'm saying Bay Area, kind of imitating E40. It's where I got it from. But after Trey Lance was drafted, he said Trey Area, and everybody caught on. Everybody caught on to that storm. The first half was really shaky. I'm looking at the drive summary for the first half, and just for the 49ers, and the defense played great. Obviously, they're forcing. I'm looking as far as what I see for the drive summary, they're just forcing the Texans to punt left and right. But here we are in the first quarter. Our first possession we punted, then we turned over on downs, punted again. Then we Trey Lance threw that pick, and on that play, I was thinking, oh wow, he rolls out, and I think he was who was he trying to throw to on that play?
The pick, the Kittle.
Yeah, it's to Kittle. Yeah, to the left sideline, right?
He didn't put enough loft on that play. He kind of tried to fastball it in there.
And it almost seemed like the guy just came out of nowhere and picked it off. He made a great play on the ball, It didn't seem like, Kittle was like blanketed or anything like that. And one thing I wanted to touch on was that during training camp, a lot of people were asking I was on Grant Combs' streams just watching what his practice reports were. And they, the whole question was, is Lance a pocket passer? And he was saying right off the bat, he doesn't see like a natural pocket passer, but he said what he does seemed like in terms of who he does remind him of was Carson Wentz. And I watch Wentz from time to time roll out and make great plays out of the pocket. And I definitely see a lot of similarity in that. And lo and behold, they did go to the same, university. So that's definitely something to think about with Trey Lance's development.
Trey likes to manipulate the pocket. I don't know if you noticed that. Like, he doesn't always want to run. Sometimes he'll kind of scramble off to one side to kind of get a better view of things, or step up. And, like, it's not always like a scramble to just roll out. Sometimes he likes to manipulate the pocket. He's not a statue like Jimmy, which is something you gotta be able to move sometimes back there, man. You can't just plant and just, allow a sack to come to you. If you can manipulate the pocket and extend plays like Russell Wilson and all those other scrambling quarterbacks do, then I love it. I love the fact that he's mobile. I love it.
Oh yeah, I've always wanted a mobile quarterback, without a doubt. 49ers Chanel, what's up, dude? I think this guy lives in Guam. He's on my Twitter, but he's a really cool dude. He's always on here. But in any case, shout out to him, man. He's always watching and always supporting the channel. Rose Mellow Bell, welcome to the channel. A lot of people hated. That's a basketball affiliated name, by the way. That's a funny little take on NBA names. But it's actually Rose Mellow Bell. I see that. A lot of people hated Trey. They wanted Jimmy to start. Trey is here. We need this. You know what's funny is so many people out there. I mean, the disrespect that Trey gets on Twitter and on social media is unbelievable. And coming from some Niner fans, it's like they literally wanted him to do bad today to prove their point that, hey, I'm right. Jimmy G is better than Trey Lance. Look at me. Ha, ha, ha. I was right. Like, what kind of childish attitude towards that? And I shouldn't even be talking about this. I should be talking about the game, but it's kind of like a childish attitude from Niner fans. Like, if you're a Niner fan, you're going to want Trey Lance, who is the future, who we gave up all of these damn picks for, to succeed and do better. And you do want him to be better than Jimmy. I'm sorry. You want him to be better than Jimmy because he's supposed to be the upgrade and be the future for the team,
I definitely don't. I didn't make any type of conclusion watching today's game because Trey's just beginning his journey in the NFL. So whatever mistakes he makes, whatever errors he makes on the field, misreads or whatever, I'm thinking, dude hasn't played in almost 2 years other than one start in 2019, if I'm correct. Or whatever the season that he set out. Then, of course, he's barely played this year other than a little bit, in the preseason or whatever. So to make any type of judgment and a finality in that judgment off of one start is ridiculous. We've seen Jimmy for 8 years. We know what Jimmy is, and he's never going to be anything more than that. Okay. He can manage this offense really well. He's able to get in and out of the huddle with the plays. He's a quick deliverer of the football, but he only can go so far. And we're at the beginning of Trey's journey. So you cannot make any comparisons or try to compare the two of them when one is literally a 21-year-old who played Division II football, who sat out a year of football and is in the NFL, and an 8-year starter. There's no comparison. So people who are saying, I told you Trey sucks, he's a bust. How? How do you make that conclusion? I thought he played about like I keep telling you, about what I thought he was going to be. I thought he would come out slow. I thought he would make a turn. I thought he would have a turnover. That's of some sort. You just had that feeling. And then when he heats up, he's like a sports car, man. When he gets that thing going, it's like, whoa. Some of the throws he makes are super impressive. And, and the fact that he can extend the play with his legs. Dude, if this is the starting point of where he's going to go, I'm totally on board with it. So,
well, I was telling people, and I could be wrong, and people can slander me all they want, but I was thinking when we drafted him, I honestly think my honest assessment of this guy, from just by watching his college play alone, I was thinking, hey, this guy's floor, not his ceiling, his floor is Kaepernick. That's what I thought, and we kind of see that right now. I think we kind of see that.
He has a Kaepernick vibe to him right now.
Yeah, I mean, he's supposed to, now in general, as far as his ceiling, he's supposed to be a lot better than that, obviously. But
yeah, and he's also a studier of film and books. He's a film junkie. You know what I mean? Like, he wants to get better. You never saw that with Cap. You never saw him on the sidelines looking at film or anything. It was just, helmet on, hat on, helmet off, hat
Yeah.
on. There was never any of that other stuff.
Trey's work ethic in terms of trying to learn the offense or being a master of the offense is impeccable from what everybody's been saying in terms of just how many hours he logs on his iPads and all that. It's showing in the practice fields too. That's why they were saying that, you had Fred Warner speaking up and saying he was dicing the first team defense, and he's looking a lot better now. A few other people trickled in. Let me see what's going on with them. Dan Castillo, what is up, dog? So what's up, Elias? I know he said what's up said what's up, Bash. Good game, great game. Shout out to you, bro. And we got this. I don't know who this is, but his screen name is Salty Jimmy Lovers. Oh my gosh! Anyone who calls Trey a bust are Jimmy stands, or they wanted Fields over Mac.
Yep.
And then he says, unlike Jamarcus Russell. Oh, Jamarcus Russell. That's just a whole.
He was cheeks.
Different can of worms.
Total cheeks.
Different can of worms there, man. Jamarcus Russell was something.
That was the dude that they sent home a DVD with no film.
It was a blank videotape.
Yeah, and he's like, and they're asking, what plays did you like there? He's like, I like them all. Like that, they knew that he didn't watch the tape. Like,
and get this, and at that point in time, they were still playing him. By the way, yeah. So for all the people who are complaining that Trey Lance didn't play yet or whatever, and and Jimmy's out there playing right now. Yeah, every team does things differently, and I even told people, as far as people who are anxious about wanting Trey out there, I was like, look, man, Joe Montana wasn't the full-time starter right off the bat.
Nope.
If you look at Steve Young's journey, now that is a freaking journey. And if you ever watch his, I think it's called A Football Life on the NFL Network, I believe they put that out. His documentary, that was pretty great too. That was pretty awesome, just his whole story. So, not everybody's
Montana wasn't a starter until I think his third year, the full-time starter.
I thought it might have been second year, but you could be right.
He was drafted in 79. So the 79-80 season, he might have maybe he became the starter during his second season.
Yeah.
But you didn't see the dividends until, they drafted some pieces on defense and they started to kind of figure out strengths and weaknesses. The Trey situation is a situation where I understand why the Niners decide to go with the incumbent starter because of just the team and how it's built. And John Lynch, I listened to him from an interview on Friday. He says, they're kind of built to win right now. So, of course, you're going to go with the pro-ready quarterback. But if there's ways you can inculcate or work the kid into the game to kind of get him some reps, which Lance also, and also with John Lynch also said that's the only way to get a guy experience is reps. So, I mean, what better reps than a playoff like vibe atmosphere? I mean, I think he handled himself pretty well today.
I did too. I was just actually clicking on some highlights while you were talking. And in the first half, obviously, we struggled on offense. I was going through the drive summary.
Right.
And we did mention that that at one point, Trey threw an interception, and we almost had an interception of our own. It was in the second quarter, the beginning of the second quarter. Ambry Thomas literally dropped one that could have been a pick six. Now, a lot of people were saying, Ambry Thomas is a bust. He sucks. It's like, look, I don't know how long you guys have been watching football. I'm not trying to be a jerk or condescending or arrogant about this, but the timetable for rookies to be determined a bust is 3 years. You give that player 3 years to show and prove who he is over that 3-year course, and then you can make whatever assessment you want, whether he's a bust or whether he's good or whether he's okay or whether he's an all-pro. Ambry Thomas, when we thrusted him into the NFL season, I mean, right now, what is it, this is his fourth week starting, or pretty much?
Who's that, Trey?
Ambry Thomas, the corner.
He started mid-season. I thought he kind of jumped in there.
Yeah, a few games
he went against guys like the dude from the Bengals, T. Higgins. He went against a guy like Jamar Chase. He's went against some pretty damn good wide receivers. Has been his responsibility. So I give him a little and for corners too. Corner is a tough position to play. You know what I mean? He's been there on a lot of plays. He just got to come away with it. You know what I mean? He's got to learn how to adjust his body and get some turnovers. But just like Jimmy, just like everybody else, the only way you're going to get experience is by playing. If you don't play, how do you get experience? And for anyone to ever come to the conclusion that someone is a bust after a couple games, you're stupid. You're not a smart fan. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah. And I get it. There is some, I don't know, I want to say anxiety, but there's thirst. I don't know, whatever
about anxiety.
Yeah, I know. Me too. I'm the same way. But I get hungry. There's a hunger out there for 49er fans, for the 49er faithful. They want to win. We came from Super Bowls. We want to win another Super Bowl. I get all that. But then again, when you got young rookies and young players, there's a maturation process. So when we thrusted Ambry Thomas, it was literally like weeks, his weeks 1, 2, and 3 for him when we thrusted him towards the end of the season. It's not like he's gonna be good right away. He's gonna look bad initially, but he looks like today. Honestly, it was his best game. He not that we were playing a great, spectacular team, but we're seeing improvements, is what I'm saying with the guy. Hopefully we see this. Hopefully by next season, him and Diamador Lenore, they want him as a nickel cornerback. They keep stressing that they want to make him the nickel cornerback. I guess they're grooming him to take over K1's position, from what I'm hearing.
Yeah, you can't keep everybody, so that would be the smartest move,
Yeah. And hopefully we can get another corner in free agency, because this Josh Norman thing, I don't care. There are some people out there who keep saying he's not horrible and he's not terrible and he's solid. And you know what? He might be teaching the young guys a thing or two, because he was pretty damn good at one point. But no way in hell we're going to roll with Josh Norman next year.
No, Josh Norman is only here because Verrett got hurt. The Niners need to do some serious deep diving on the free agent corner market. They need to, at least at the top half of their roster, definitely invest in a corner. I mean, if you can get one in free agency, get one in the draft maybe, and like I said, bring along Diamador Lenore and Ambry, and then keep a guy like Mosley, I think you'll be all right.
Yeah, that hurt us a lot too when Mosley went down. And it was even in that Seahawks game. He was actually having a good game.
Yes, he was.
We lost him, and it's hurt us and I'm not a big Mosley fan either, by the way, but he's a whole lot better than Josh Norman. That's for sure. Norman, we got a good. Yeah, I know. We could go on and on about that. Last Second Sports, Jesse Naylor says, "What's up, fellas?" He says that SM7B.
I didn't mean to give you the finger. I went to go like this, and I only.
Oh, you did. Oh, hey, man.
Sorry.
You're doing it. It's all good. That he says that SM7B is sounding clean, Aaron. That's Aaron's brand new mic, the same mic that Joe Rogan uses on his podcast. The mic that I want. I have a little bit of buyer's remorse with this mic, but it's good. Maybe I'll ride this till the wheels fall off and do the upgrade later. But yeah, great to have Jesse, Last Second Sports. Check out his channel. Had him on my show before. He's arguably one of the best 49ers analysts on YouTube. I'm not just saying that because he's my friend or he's a good buddy. I really love his work, man. I don't know about
his channel blew up. It went to, I didn't mean to give you the middle finger. I don't know why my middle finger came up. F you too. No, it's, what was I going to say? I totally forgot.
About Jesse's channel?
Yeah. Like what happened with his channel and how fast he's regained and surpassed his original sub count. I thought that was fantastic. He gave a shout out to so many people on Twitter the other day. And I just want to say thank you for
I missed that tweet.
Putting everybody. You might have very well been in there. A lot of people,
because I retweeted. I was retweeting. Hey, get his subs up, because he's almost at the original sub count of his old channel. He had like 3,000 subs on his old channel, and boom, that stupid troll on YouTube made him lose his channel, and that was really messed up. It pissed me off. And
I was going to tell Rob Shue to not put people on video the other day in his.
Oh, okay. I plan on doing that in the future, putting certain people on video, but it's going to be people I know. I'm not going to just put random schmoes, on there. I'm sorry, and not trying to offend anybody that's a Niner fan that's want to be a part of what we're doing here. And I definitely appreciate everybody on the chat too at that point. Twisted Eva says, "What's up?" I don't know, is that ice cream or popcorn? He's got his popcorn. He's got his
little cardboard.
Get your popcorn ready. Tommy Huxley, what's up, dog? Says Joe Rogan, Josh. Yeah, so the pass rush look pretty good today.
Yes.
Yeah,
not in the first half though. They were non-existent in the first half. I was thinking. You notice that we were constantly rushing Bosa on the opposite side. Over the right tackle. Basically, usually he's over the left tackle. I noticed them switching it up at points in times this season, but today they had him like almost exclusively on that side. What'd you think about that? You got to move him around because he is the sole and singular focus of defenses. So I seen him inside too towards the end of the game. They moved him into D tackle. I think that's where he was playing, or I don't know how the line was slanted. But that's the only way you're going to get him, because if you just sit him on one side, they're just going to chip him and they're going to play max protect, and you're never going to see him do anything. And also, if that's going to happen, other guys have to step up. You know what I mean? Other guys are going to get one-on-ones. If those other guys can win their one-on-ones, I thought Eric Armstead had a fantastic game today. Way to step up, way to earn that $17 million. a year that you make. He played great. I thought, what's his name? Arden Key had a nice play, even though it was flagged. And then, of course, Samson Epucom got in there. And even DJ Jones was making some headway today, too. DJ Jones is a very important part of this defense. I don't think people realize what he does, not just for the run defense, but for the pass rush. And he had a good game as well.
I've seen plays with DJ Jones. Remember when they tried to run that fake field goal? And next thing you know, DJ Jones backing up like a freaking linebacker and running to the left side of the field and making a stop on a few other plays like that, maybe on screen passes or on certain runs. Like, for a big, huge, hefty, bulky guy, it looks like Mark Henry for the WWE. He's got some feet on him, man. He's got some legs.
Yeah, he for a big, heavy man who's very top heavy, he can move. My brother was talking because he was watching the game with me. He's like, man, you guys got a pretty deep defensive line. You know, as long as Bosa stays healthy, I think our defensive line is pretty stacked. But you can never have enough. I mean, I wish D Ford could have stayed healthy. But
oh yeah, that guy. I was gonna say Armstead looked really good on one play where they sacked Davis Mills. I believe it was in the second half. It might have been in the fourth quarter, but Armstead literally bulldozed his guy completely, and that guy almost fell into Davis Mills. And next thing you know, Arden Key cleans up and gets a sack. They actually had Arden Key on the outside that play, and Arden Key is initially an outside rusher, but we were running him as an inside rusher this year, and he was getting a lot of success. And our D-line started off very slow this year, but they've definitely picked things up.
Jordan Willis had a good game, too.
Yeah, he had one really nice play. I can't remember what point in time it happened in the game, but it was almost like he blitzed from the outside, and he just got straight to the QB. It was really nice. And, I remember when we traded for him from the Bengals, they were saying that he ran like a 4.5 40, but it was almost like one of those situations where some guy who has these great measurables, but you don't see the results. Like, I was like, this guy doesn't look that fast to me. But on that play, I could see the speed. I could see how he got to the quarterback. And it was definitely good to see. And, here we go. Tommy Huxley says, I give Lance a C+ today, but an A for a rookie. That's a good assessment. I think so. With Lance, obviously you get the wow plays. I've been telling people, you're going to get more wow plays than Jimmy. And we got plenty of wow on that throw to Debo and just on other plays. And we got CG Ruthless Sports. What's up to him? Subscribe to his channel. Check him out. He's a big 49er creator on YouTube. Says Arden Key found his home in SF, where he resurrected his career. Good buddy of mine, Joey Mahoney, was stressing about Arden Key before the draft when he was coming out in the 2018 draft, saying we should draft him coming out of LSU, and he was this big outside pass rusher. And lo and behold, he goes to the Raiders, a team I hate, and didn't really do too well over there. He'd get pressure from time to time, but he would never close in and get the sack. And what he's doing with Kasarik is looking pretty good. What is up, Bob Money? Bob Money says, this is about Trey Lance, I assume. He says, I gave him an A-. Needs to work on some stuff, especially the pick, the interception that he threw. But overall, the kid's going to get better every game he plays, and I'm hoping to God they do not bring Jimmy back. I don't think Jimmy's coming back. We got way too many holes that we need to fill. I'm pretty sure Jimmy's going to want to go play elsewhere. He knows that it's pointless to be on the 49ers if, we have Trey Lance, here that we gave up all these picks for, and we pretty much designate him as our franchise quarterback. And there was a recent interview with Matt Miyoko. Matt Miyoko was interviewing our GM, John Lynch. And, Matt Miyoko, they were talking about how good Jimmy was doing over the past few games or whatever. But they said, Matt Miyoko was like, but you gave up all these picks for Trey Lance. Do you regret making that decision? Does it look like? And he basically, I forgot how he worded the question. I forgot how he said it, but he basically asked, does that mean Jimmy's staying next year or something? And Lynch pretty much just shut it down. Said it was like, no, we're sticking with our guy Lance, and we made those picks for a reason. I wish I could remember how they worded it exactly, but when you see the video, it'll pretty much leave no mystery to the question. That's how I look at it.
I've seen somebody in the comments saying that Trey almost had 3 picks today, and he missed some guys, but no one's talking about it. Prius Gang.
Prius Gang. Yeah, I know who that is.
I saw all the same plays, but the way I look at it is, you get those same things with Garoppolo too, and he's an 8-year starter. Anything that I saw with Trey today, I was going to be okay with. As long as I saw some sort of improvement and he made some plays when he needed to make them, and he did all those things. He checked all those boxes. But to say like, I saw all the same plays. I saw the one over the middle that could have been picked by the linebacker, or the defensive lineman. He kind of like tipped it. The one to the outside that was caught by Ayuk that was almost intercepted. Uh, dude, like literally, I had to stop myself. I'm like, you cannot overanalyze this kid in one game. We have an 8-year sample of Jimmy. 8 years. He's been in the league 8 years. This kid's been in the league for less than one season. It took Josh, the Josh Allen from the Bills, about 3 years to be to where he is now.
Pretty much.
Give the kid a chance. Like, let him develop. You know what you do with a kid like this? This is how you start it. You take all the things that he does well and you incorporate it into your offense, and you base your offense off the things that he can do well. And as he plays and he plays better, then you start to add in all the rest of the stuff that maybe is more difficult or he has difficulty with. But to me, the way I look at it is you cannot make any judgment or assessment off of one game. Did he play perfect? No. Did he have a turnover and could have had more? Absolutely. But the fact of the matter is, at the end of the day, he did not cost the 49ers this game, and he played well enough for us to win. And that's all you expect, and that's all you can get. Or if that's all you get from a rookie, then I'll take it. So,
yeah. So that was Prius game. He said Trey almost had 3 picks today.
I saw it all.
Trey missed some guys, but of course no one's talking about and Jimmy's had plenty of interceptions that should have been interceptions that weren't. So, and I didn't mention those. I could have mentioned those all year long, and I didn't. So, yeah, I'm going to be fair about it. So, what I was going to say was, in the first half, we squandered a field goal, right? We didn't score any touchdowns. In the second half, we did something that one of the reasons why I was screaming for Trey Lance to be the quarterback was I was sick and tired of our team suffering from these ridiculous pass interference calls where just the quarterback would just air it out downfield, throw up a pass, and then next thing you know, the flags are throwing. But we're not doing it to the other team. We're not keeping the defense on their toes. We're not challenging the safeties. So lo and behold, in the second quarter, I believe it's in the second half, shotgun, Trey Lance throws a deep bomb to Ayuk. And hey, he's got 2 guys there, and PI call, 37-yard penalty, boom, moves us up closer. Next thing you know, a few plays later, Trey Lance throws a short pass to Elijah Mitchell, who had a wonderful game. We mentioned him earlier, but
another fantastic game by Elijah.
8-yard TD. Trey Lance's touchdown pass, a very nice touch. And people say he has no touch on short passes. I keep hearing people bitching and moaning about that. But yeah, from time to time, you see him throw some good short passes, And he's not perfect. He's not Jimmy yet on the short touch passes. I get that. But I think he'll eventually get there. It's only a matter of time.
To me, he played well to me. I have a high standard of what I feel a quarterback should play. Me and you're about the same age. We're in our 40s. So we saw, not just with the 49ers with Montana and Young and me watching both of their careers, but, watching guys like Marino and Elway and all the other greats that were playing while we were younger guys. And so I want greatness from the quarterback position. And it's like with Jimmy, you have a standard to decent to good quarterback who, he's solid enough to get you some wins, but you have a ceiling of how far he's going to take you. And I feel like with Trey and his athleticism and his elite traits, if he could just figure out this game speed and just get the reps that he needs, I think he can be one of those ascending type quarterbacks who, in a couple of years, we'll be talking about him in the same light as of a Mahomes or a Josh Allen or something like that. I'm not saying he's ever going to be that, but he possesses elite traits and elite abilities. And really, what he needs is time. So
yeah, and with his work ethic, I mean,
and he's I was going to say a pencil pusher, but he's a film junkie,
Yeah, he's got tremendous work ethic. So I just he's got those elite traits, like you said, and not that he's gonna be as good as Josh Allen, is gonna be as good as Patrick Mahomes, but as long as he gets close, I'll be more than happy, and it wouldn't surprise me one bit. Wouldn't surprise me one bit. So we were like 10-7 going in the fourth quarter. We had the lead. There was a really nice play where Trey Lance. I'm watching it right now. Trey Lance dropped back, and it was 3rd and 3. We had the ball at like the 40-yard line, the opposite 40-yard line. Next thing you know, Trey Lance throws a low ball to Jennings on the sideline for about 10-yard pass, but Jennings caught it and made an excellent play on the ball. I always like it when Jennings gets involved. It's just so nice to see. A few plays later, actually the next play, 1st and 10, Trey Lance takes a snap, rolls to the right, throws to the left side of the field, touchdown to Deebo Samuel. So that was just like really, really exciting play. Again, Trey Lance gives you those wow plays, and that's why we drafted him.
Yeah, I was sitting with my brother when he threw that touchdown, and I was just like, here it goes. Like, let's go, baby. I was like, I forgot what I said. Let's light it up or put some gas on this thing.
I said Trey area.
Like,
really
once I
loud.
saw him do that roll, I said, Jared, he's about to push it deep.
I was hoping to see those rollouts earlier in the game. I was like, where are these rollout plays that we saw in the preseason when he was throwing to Sherfield and stuff like that? And boom, when we saw that, I was like, my eyes got big. I was like, yes, let's do
Sherfield
this.
actually had a catch today. Did you see that?
He did, yeah. I was like, okay, cool, good to see him get involved. Again, I'm glad we're getting Jennings involved throughout the later part of the season. Sherfield, maybe we'll see him involved next week. Who knows? I mean, in a bigger play. The guy is built and he's got all kinds of speed and size, but I just expected a whole lot more out of him out this season. For some reason, we're not seeing it.
I don't know if you noticed with Trey, but he does take shots where he makes the defense kind of respect the deep ball. The touchdown pass that was dropped by Ayuk, that Ayuk just missed in the back of the end zone on the right side. Yeah, it's just those kind of plays that you just don't get from Jimmy, where it's all condensed in the middle of the field. Everything is like between 5 and 12 yards or 5 and 15 yards.
We saw more plays go to the sidelines too, like
yes.
more plays outside of the hashes,
yes.
A whole lot more. And then we saw less of the middle plays.
and I noticed when Trey tried to, when you go over the middle and you're just not quite, as proficient as Jimmy, at least within the short game, that's where you don't want to miss. Whereas Jimmy makes most of his headway over the middle, but also most of his mistakes too. There was a nice slant that he threw to Ayuk that went for a huge gainer. They're saying, a lot of people on Twitter are saying that Ayuk is kind of becoming Trey's favorite right now. He's kind of has rapport with them because they do a lot of side work, because a lot of receivers don't want to stay after and kind of catch balls from Trey. So Ayuk has. So he has he has a little bit of chemistry with them, which is always great. Listen, man, our running game is healthy, and we have a pretty good, decent. Our weapons are pretty decent if you look at them. You got Kittle, you have Debo, you have Brandon Ayuk, and then you have Elijah Mitchell back there. Most teams, if you gave a quarterback those kind of options, he would say yes, please. So for a rookie, really, he just gets to get the ball. He's got to get the ball out to his playmakers, and little by little, as the game progressed, he did that. So just get the ball in your playmakers and get out of the way. You know what I mean? Just be a facilitator.
Later in the game, I thought we were going to score another touchdown. We only ended up scoring a field goal, but on that drive in the fourth quarter, there was a strike down the field towards the middle of the field, deep middle of the field, a 29-yard pass from Trey Lance to George Kittle.
Oh yeah,
that was a nice play, and they actually called a penalty on it was I don't know who Murray is, pass interference. Oh no, pass interference on Justin Reed actually, but we declined it. And I thought we were going to score a touchdown on that play. And I think right after we got a 37-yard run on from Elijah Mitchell, I was like, whoa, that was a really nice run. But we ended up only getting a field goal out of that one. I believe that was the one we tried to throw a pass at Debo on a touchdown, some type of rollout, I think. And I think that was the play where Justin Reed kind of blitzed and got to Trey Lance. And Trey Lance, I think, wanted to run on that play, but he was forced to throw to Debo and it went incomplete on the left sideline.
Yeah, there was also a play, I think, where the Niners were trying to score, and I think Ayuk had a hold or something.
Yeah, yep, on a run play. Yeah, it was when Trey Lance ran it straight up the middle.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. I have this one friend who gets so emotionally mad and pissed off and said, "Oh, why are we trying to run Trey Lance like he's Bronco Nagurski? I hate this. I hate this. I hate this." I'm like, hold up, look at the passing stats Trey Lance completed. I can pull up his stats right now. He aired the ball a whole lot. It was not like he was running the whole entire game, and he had a much better completion percentage this game. He actually ended up with a 116 quarterback rating, which is easily his best game. 16 for 23, 249 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. On Jesse Naylor's Twitter, I actually predicted 250 yards throwing, 2 touchdowns. I think I put 0 interceptions. I was going to put 1 interception. I might have put 0 though. And I said 45 rushing yards, and he ended up with rushing yards. What did he get? Eight rushes for 31 yards. That's not that bad. I mean, I don't think he ran too much.
He's not as quick as I thought he was with the quarterback running. It's like he's a little indecisive a little bit.
You can tell he's tentative, yeah.
It's like he doesn't want to make mistakes. Which, I mean, that's a good trait to have. But, yeah, I just think I'm just really pleased with what I saw, to be honest with you. I really don't have anything negative. You know me, I'm a super negative Niners fan. So
it's almost the exact game I thought Trey Lance was going to have, only that I thought he would get off to a better start earlier in the game. That's all. I didn't think it would drag on as long. I knew I was going to see mistakes, but I thought things were going to happen a bit quicker. But then again, I mean, last time he freaking stepped on the field was the first time we played the Cardinals this year. So,
and his finger wasn't even healed.
Yeah, his finger wasn't healed in that game.
They said his index finger and his throwing hand wasn't able to be bent. He couldn't straighten it. So,
let me say what's up to Niner Sickness. Beto, who runs a Niner Sickness podcast. He's got the same mic that you got now. I want to get the same mic in the future, by the way, but I'll hold off now. I actually want to upgrade my camera first. Says, what's up, Bash? And then he also says, Aaron, I finished both sets of your overlays I created for you. Okay, I didn't know he was doing work for you. Okay, I don't have any overlays, man. I still have I think I can put an overlay.
Can
now
I give a shout out to Niner Sickness?
Yeah, he says, "Hey, Aaron, prayers for your sister." Yeah, shout out to your sister. Prayers for her. I know you said that she came down with COVID.
Yeah, my sister came down with COVID.
Yeah,
everybody,
so bless her health.
Please, if you can, prayers. My mom called her and we were talking to her, but she had a vaccine, but she didn't get the booster. So hopefully, it won't get any worse than what it is. We have health issues in our family, like with our heart and stuff. So you always wonder, something like that, it might kind of make things worse than other health issues that you don't know you have. So yeah, after the Niners game, and then I saw that, I was like, I don't even care if the Niners won. I was like, my mind was completely kind of like, eh.
I totally understand. Family's always first. Yeah.
But, I just want to give a shout out to Niner Sickness, everybody, the Niner Sickness podcast. He does really great overlays. If you're a YouTube or any type of content creator who wants to have a very nice, fancy schmancy type of overlay, he does pretty much what you asked for. So if you're looking to get overlays done for your stream, you could probably find him. You can, first of all, subscribe to his channel, Niner Sickness Podcast, because he's fantastic. Very family friendly. Just remember to wipe your feet when you get in there. Okay. Hit that like and subscribe button. And he's on Instagram and on Twitter. So, and I pretty much think it's the same name, Niner Sickness, that you can find him, and he can make overlays for you for your streams, and they look fantastic. I actually haven't seen his finished product yet, so I'm looking forward to it after the stream.
Well, with his work, I usually know what it's like. You can for me, I have a good eye for it. So when somebody does certain type of work, like I can tell when they put their touches on something. Everybody has their own style, so he does good work without a doubt. I was gonna say something. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on in the chat, so I'll say what's up to them.
Yeah, the chat's getting a little R-rated.
Oh, the chat is just. Yeah, I'm not gonna read that stuff off. But Scott Bartouche, I don't know who this guy is, but welcome to the channel. Says Jimmy G is not the answer. He can't stay healthy. He is a stone statue in the pocket, and he is not accurate and has a below average arm. Oh yeah, yep. You were telling me, man.
You can't. Can you argue with that? Can you argue with that?
It's stuff we've all known and talked about.
That is if you explain him, is it really like sacrilege or like, oh, how dare you talk about Jimmy? That's what he is.
You can only comment on the plays that you see on the field. It's not like we're making stuff up or saying he's a bad person or he's a bad guy and he's bad for the organization. I'm just saying that we need better at the position.
Tommy Huxley said it best, $26 million for Jimmy. Nah, can't do it, brah.
Yeah, he's got a top 5 salary. He's got a top 5 salary, and we're not getting top 5 results.
Nope.
Now, if we're getting top 10 results, I'd be like, okay, great, but that's not what we're getting. Tommy said it right there. $26 million for Jimmy. Nah, I can't do it, bro. Yeah, a lot of people are pretty much saying that, And hey, you know what? When he first came out, I was all hyped up and happy about him. That when he won those 5 games and put up 1,500 yards in 5 games, I was like, "Whoa, where did this guy come from?"
We all were.
I bought his jersey.
Haven't had a good quarterback in years.
And we were coming from Brian Hoyer and frickin' CJ Beathard during that season.
Right.
I will say this about Trey Lance in terms there. People said that we played a weak team. It's a not a good Texans team or whatever, and I get that they don't have Deshaun Watson, so I'm not gonna expect them to be good. Davis Mills, who is a promising second rounder quarterback out of Stanford, by the way. Shout out to Stanford Pac-12 football. Not a bad rookie, but he's only got a few games under his belt. He's looking pretty decent so far. But at the end of the day, I was gonna say the Texans. It's not like Trey Lance just took every snap and had like a freaking 5 seconds to throw, and it was just all roses and daisies for him. He had some pressure coming his way, and he was tested. So, but that's good. And they stacked the box like crazy on him, and they blitzed him like crazy, and they were daring him to throw. So, I think he passed the test, and hopefully he passed the test next week against the Rams. I'm pretty much 100% sure that he's playing. I'll be shocked if Jimmy G steps on the field against the Rams in Levi's South, by the way, SoFi Stadium.
Prius asked, okay, so what flaws does Trey have then? All QBs have flaws, not just Jimmy. Trey's flaws are that he's still slow to read his progressions. Like, you can see it. With Jimmy, the ball is out quickly most of the time, unless he's holding it and then getting sacked for absolutely no reason. But the kid's slow to develop a little bit as far as plays. He doesn't always see the field. He has to learn touch. Everything with him is a fastball. Even that pass to Debo was kind of like a rocket and not as much arc as you would want. So, just be able to repeat your delivery consistently. That's something he definitely needs to work on. And stay in the pocket and let your progressions work those way out. He wants to make a positive play so much that he immediately leaves his spot as soon as he doesn't see his first reads. But listen, if that's today is, a taste of what we're going to get from him in the future, I'd take it.
Definitely. I mean, yeah, Trey. We know Trey's going to make mistakes in these early games. We know it, and he may make mistakes next year when he steps on the field. He barely played in college. He's barely played this year. He wasn't barely getting any reps in practice other than the scout team. So I mean, we're not expecting freaking Joe Montana or Steve Young right off the bat.
Yeah, like that. But Montana was, when it came to like someone who got through their reads and was in progressions, Montana is one of the best. But it's just Montana had time to develop. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Steve DeBerg was there.
You
have to give it.
Yep.
And David McNew says Trey's weaknesses are short and doesn't run through his progressions fast enough.
Right.
Yeah, that's part of it. It's part of the maturation process.
It's definitely.
I forgot to mention to you. I actually remember we were talking about. We always talk about pizza on my podcast. We always talk about it.
Absolutely.
I make my own. You see my pizzas on Instagram.
I'm Sicilian Irish, man. My mom was born in Sicily. Sausage are a part of my life.
I was born in Iraq. I'm from the Middle East, but who knows? I might have some Italian blood in me. My cousin did a DNA test, and he had some Italian blood in him. So
I think I have French in me too. So I'm like straight up all European. That's why my nose is so big. I don't know if you guys have noticed.
Yeah, mine isn't small either. So it is what it is. But I was gonna say I had some pizza before the game. That was my pregame meal. So
me
just
too.
wanted to throw
I
that
had
out
pizza.
there.
My brother, he got one of those pellet.
Oh, the pellet oven, like a Traeger
pellet oven, for a pizza.
Oh, he cooked it. He cooked
it wasn't bad. It wasn't great. He burnt my pizza a little.
Oh, how long has he been making them? He's probably not skilled
just a couple
yet.
weeks. Just a couple.
Okay, I can send you some videos if he really wants to get good in the pizza game. Oh, what's up here? We got my friend here. Oh, actually, we got another pizza shout out here. This guy Scott Bertouche says Minor and Moe's Pizza in Nevada City, fellas. Okay. I really go to Nevada. If I do go to Nevada, it's either Vegas, Reno, or Lake Tahoe. I'm not too far actually. I'm over in Roseville, over in northern California. But I'll keep that in mind if I'm ever out there, wherever Nevada City is. And I love my pizza the most, though, actually. But sometimes I just don't have dough, so
bro. I'm coming out to see you.
If you ever go to a game, I'll try to set up something where I make pizza or whatever. Okay, so we got Channel 49, my buddy from Instagram, says, "What's up, y'all? Trey got the W through a Jimmy special." Yeah, my joke is whenever Jimmy G throws a pick, how Philly has a Philly special with Nick Foles that they ran. I call it the Jimmy special. So yeah, Trey threw a Jimmy special today. He did that. He's got some throwing issues, but I can see a bright future Rams game score prediction. You know what we didn't see this time around when we saw early on with Trey Lance? We don't see those plays where not Jimmy. Why am I saying Jimmy? Where Trey Lance is just sailing the ball over everybody's head or throwing the ball in the dirt. We didn't see too much of that.
He had one on a scramble where he kind of missed Debo.
Mm-hmm. But in general, his accuracy and his ball placement was a whole lot better than what we saw in previous games, don't you think?
Yeah, definitely.
Question for Bash. We're going to meet up for a game in 916 soon. That's not a bad idea, man. We should do that. Even though he doesn't like Jimmy, he's a good... And my bad. Even though he doesn't like Trey so much, and he's a Jimmy fan, he's a good dude. That's the one thing we don't agree upon. I don't know why. I don't know. And we got Coach's Viewpoint. Good buddy of mine said I had cashews before the game and M&Ms. Those are my pregame since I don't chew gum anymore. I'd love to have pizza. Bash's Pizza looked fantastic. Thank you. I wish there was a way that technology could just have me virtually send pizza out to all my viewers and
the
say
thing from Star Trek.
Some way like that. Yeah, I could just cook up. Hey, all my viewers get a free pizza today. I wish I had the ability to do that, or technology existed like that. Bash, did you hear about the little kid wandering on the 49ers sidelines during the game? He went up to Debo and Kyle. I did not hear about that. No, that's news to me. And Niners Sickness Podcast says no chicken from gas stations. He's hating on this crispy, crunchy chicken, the best fried chicken. Well, it's better than KFC and Popeyes, I'll say that, for fast food chicken. But it is not primarily served at gas stations, but you do find it at a lot of gas stations, and they do have some stand-up locations. No, I'm not getting paid by them. They're not my sponsor, but if you're going to have some fried chicken, look up crispy, crunchy chicken in your area. You're not going to be disappointed.
That sounds fantastic. I love fried chicken.
You never heard of crispy, crunchy chicken? Huh? Look it up in Rochester. Maybe you guys have it out where you live.
We have a place called Wingstop out here, I think.
Wingstop. Yeah, that's everywhere. Everybody has Wingstop. I want to touch on something really, really quick. I'm going to pull it up in just a second. Here it is. Just a moment. Is there anything else that you want to bring up? Because I'm going to go off topic a little bit in terms of
I was going to go off topic too, because 49er Niner Sickness was asking what I'm running with my mic.
Oh, go ahead. Do that really quick, and I'll mention a few things when you're done.
The Focusrite interface, Scarlett interface, and the I forgot the name of it. It's like a preamp. It's blue. I forget the name of it. Something, I don't know what it's called, but yeah, you have to kind of from the mic to the preamp, and then from the preamp to the actual interface. And then from the interface to your laptop. So it's kind of yeah.
Okay, I was just going to touch on the game stats. So it's 23-7. Trey Lance, again, for those who don't know, went 16 for 23, 249 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. So I almost predicted it right. I had 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 250 yards. Is 1 yard off. Elijah Mitchell, the awesome rookie that we have, should easily be over 1,000 yards. But he missed so many games. Maybe he might get 1,000 yards in his last game. Who knows? But against the Rams. But 21 rushes, 119 yards. Longest run was 37 yards, and he did catch a touchdown. He had a touchdown reception. We did not mix it up with the running backs like I thought we would. I was hoping Jeff Wilson would get the ball from time to time, but he didn't. That's another story. So receiving leader, again, the guy's been a monster all season long. I believe he broke like 1,000 yards like 8 games into the season, or 9 games. But anyways, Ayuk had 4 catches, 94 yards. I don't know why it doesn't say he had No, that was Ayuk. Yeah, I got Ayuk mixed up with Debo. Debo's the one with all the crazy yards. But Ayuk had a great game. Again, like you mentioned, Ayuk and Trey Lance have an excellent connection. They've been practicing a lot all offseason, and it's showing that they have that connection. But then again, Debo got that big play touchdown, 45 yards, 3 catches, 63 yards, 1 touchdown. And the whole thing was the announcers were saying that Kittle needs to be involved, and we weren't seeing him involved. I was like, whoa, what's going on here? Why aren't we throwing the Kittle? So hopefully Lance develops that connection with Kittle, because Kittle is a monster. He's amazing. But 1 catch, that amazing catch over the middle, for Kittle over the middle, as they say, 1 catch, 29 yards. I don't have the defensive stats pulled up just yet, but I'll definitely get to those once I do find them on Google really quick, so we can cover that. Anything you want to touch on in terms of the stats I brought up, or? No,
I just think that, it's sad that the Niners didn't take care of business early in the season, that they put themselves in a position where they have to win on the road next Sunday against a pretty talented team. So, just to get into the playoffs, they might blow their load and then just You know what I mean? Like if they don't make
Blow
it
the-
in, yeah,
blow
if
their
they don't
load.
if they don't make it in this year, I'll be disappointed, but I've seen some things that give me a lot of hope going into next year. But I don't want it to end. I want them to make it. So hopefully, um, next game they can, no matter who the quarterback is, they can run the ball and not commit stupid penalties and just find a way, whatever it takes. I don't care if it's a 6-3 victory. It just get the win.
To quote Al Davis, just win, baby.
Exactly.
I think Prius Adam mentioned the Robbie Gold question earlier, and Robbie Gold did his thing today. Hopefully, if the game relies,
okay.
if the Rams game relies on Robbie Gold, hopefully we don't have to have him in a position to kick the freaking 60-yarder because we know he can't make one. But as long as we position it properly, he will make the simple ones for the most part. I'm going to pull up the defensive stats really quick just to give you the defensive rundown. Fred Warner, great game today. Awesome game. Because Aziz Al-Sha'ir was not playing today, and we missed him. And Greenlaw didn't come back yet. So Warner had to really carry the whole linebacking core on his shoulders, and he did a great job. 7 tackles, 8 assisted tackles. Marcel Harris, one of our other linebackers, used to be a safety, had a nice interception, and then people say he fumbled it, but then they got stopped by the forward progress. But look, man, I'll take a controversial call any day because God knows how many penalties we've had all season long, and some of those were pretty questionable. I just wanted to look up the sack total. Eric Armstead had half his sack. We mentioned him earlier. Jordan Willis had one. Arden Key had one. On that one that Arden Key had, he had help from Bosa wasn't registered a sack, huh? I thought he got one, huh?
Yeah,
I definitely saw him get the pressures, but pressures are definitely important,
Yeah, the poor guy gets completely destroyed on every play. My brother's like, he looks so disheveled. I'm like, dude, he gets destroyed every play.
And they did call a holding, though, which was
Finally.
nice. Yeah, I was like, oh, wow. Whoa, we should see at least one of those every game. Scott Bartush says, hey, guys, do you think the 49ers will keep Trey draft pick, cut or keep Jimmy? Whoa, draft? I don't get it. I'll trade for a draft pick, I think. Cut or keep Jimmy next year, and if a draft pick, which one? Had Jimmy played a bit better, had he not got hurt, I thought maybe. Had Jimmy had played in playoffs and had won at least one game, maybe we could get a first rounder for Jimmy. That's if there was on a good day with a dumb GM sitting there, but obviously that's not happening. I'm thinking third rounder now. If we're super lucky, maybe a second rounder. What do you think? I don't think they're releasing him. I think they're going to trade Jimmy.
They're not going to. I don't think they're going to release him either. They're going to trade him, but I don't think they're getting a first rounder. So the Niners need to get off their high horse with that one. Second, maybe, for a quarterback hungry team who's looking for a bridge quarterback. Say like, I'm trying to think of a team that would use a bridge quarterback. Maybe the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Steelers could use one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe the Saints, but it looks like they're going to stick with Winston.
Yeah, but
you never know.
You don't. But the Niners can't be completely arrogant. I mean, the guy has value, but I don't. If he would have stayed healthy and played through the end of this year, I think his value would have, maybe been a first rounder or a second. But I mean, if they get a second for Jimmy, I think that's a win, to be honest with you. But you got to trade him. There's no
I think
way
even a third round draft pick is a win for him. Just for the fact that, we do draft fairly well. It doesn't have to be a first round pick, but just in those middle type rounds, we do get good players from time to time. So I'll take it, man. Some people are like, oh, why are we going to trade him for it? Some people were just so impatient that they just wanted to cut Jimmy right away and cut him loose and not have him play so we could build value for him. But hey, it is what it is, man. It's a business. You're not going to sit there and have a $27 million quarterback. As much as you hate him, as much as a huge portion of the fan base hates Jimmy and they're tired of him, they're not going to sit a freaking $27 million quarterback and not play him. I do think what happened and what got in the way, though, was Jimmy's no trade clause. Made it very difficult for the 49ers to strike a trade in the offseason, on draft day, and during the season before the trade deadline. So it is what it is with the whole Jimmy G saga. It's not what we thought it was going to be. It was amazing, beautiful, fun, and exciting at one point. We even went to the Super Bowl with Jimmy G leading the way. A lot of people were saying that he didn't take us to the Super Bowl and this is the run game and the defense did. I know the whole argument. I know the whole story. Not really going to get into that too much, but it's not what we thought it was going to be. That's all. That's all I got to say about Jimmy. Before you can have a few words about that, and I'm going to go on to a different topic.
Yeah, you got to rip the Band-Aid off eventually, man. It's over. The ride is over. He He did well the year of the 2019 season, but to say that he took us to the Super Bowl is an inaccurate statement. We had a elite level defense that year and a fantastic running game. Did he help us during the regular season to get to where we needed to be? Yes. In the playoffs, though, he barely touched the football. Kyle didn't trust him. It was all run game, all defense. And in the Super Bowl, when we needed him to perform, unfortunately, when we needed him to be at his best, he came up short. And, the Niners had an opportunity after last year and with Jimmy's injury issues to address the quarterback position. And, the league's changing. The mobile, strong arm quarterback who can elongate plays and has, fantastic elite level athleticism. That's the new league. So the Niners, I think, made the right move in what they did. And, unfortunately, people are really loyal to Jimmy. But the fact that at the end of the day, he didn't win us a championship. And I'm not saying Trey's going to, but this is a results-based business, and the results are not what we thought it was going to be. So I'm all for the future. I'm looking forward.
And Jimmy G, if you are watching, we have Prius Game says it's not over. Says Jimmy is the man here. Shout out to number 10. So he still has one fan out there. Coach's Viewpoint says, I'm thinking we trade Jimmy G to the New York Giants or possibly to the Steelers, who will give up more. That's second for sure. Giants maybe a third. They are more greedy but desperate too. You know what? The one saving grace that we have in terms of trying to trade Jimmy away is this year's quarterback class in college, the 2022 quarterback class that was supposed to be much better than the 2021 quarterback class, has taken a straight up nosedive. And a lot of people were saying that had Trey Lance came out in 2022, or was he'd be the first pick overall. But
yeah, he'd be the number one quarterback.
Yeah, so that's going to help us in some way, shape, or form in terms of who we're trying to trade to, and because the confidence level. And say these other teams do draft a QB in round 2 or 3 or 4 or whatever, in the lower rounds. They're still going to want a placeholder from time to time, even if it's a first round draft pick for a quarterback. A placeholder will always help. Jimmy G could be that guy. I do want to touch on this though. Great game by the 49ers. We won 23-7. And what coach says, exactly, Bash, no quarterback since next draft. Yeah, I don't like the QB class at all. But I do want to touch on something else, and I'm going to show it. I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to get into the topic once you see what I'm talking about. I'm going to open up a tab, and we're going to talk about this guy right here. And this is definitely long overdue because this definitely needs to be discussed. And this is none other than the legend, an NFL legend. I mean, I'm going to try to say as much as I can. I'm probably going to leave a whole bunch of things out, but if you're not a John Madden fan, then you're not a football fan.
Exactly.
We lost a freaking legend in John Madden. So many countless 49er games that I watched, or just NFL games in general that I watched. John Madden was the announcer, and just he just his voice. I don't know, the things he said, and he didn't sound like a nerd. He didn't sound like he was talking about the game of football as if he was some nuclear scientist or whatever. He simplified the game as much as possible. But he made it fun, and he made excellent points, and it was so entertaining. And words can't explain how much joy watching John Madden cover the NFL. He had a great career as a coach. I mean, I obviously do not like the Raiders. I'm not going to lie about that, but an amazing coach with the Raiders. Won a Super Bowl with them. Everybody knows that. And, then the John Madden gaming franchise. I mean, what a gaming franchise. I mean, year after year, one of the best-selling video games of all time. I remember when John Madden first had a video game it was on the PC. I was actually in high school. No, I was in elementary school, and the John Madden game was only available on the computer back then. And lo and behold, then they started going to the consoles and Sega Genesis and all that, and my friends would play it. And back when they first had on Sega Genesis, they didn't have like the players' names on it. Then they introduced the players' names, and the game just became so fun and addictive for everybody. But John Madden, just so awesome. I know I'm probably missing something, but him and Pat Summerall were a great team, of course. Just epic games watching John Madden, and if you're a Niner fan, he'd always have little fun things to say about certain players, especially like Merton Hanks when Merton Hanks would bobble his head and do that crazy dance, he'd be like, "Hey, look, there's Merton Hanks. He's doing the Big Bird dance, or he's doing the chicken dance." He always had a funny little name, or he was always like, "Boom, tough acting, tenactin." Like, you just know John Madden. One time I went to a Niner game in Candlestick, and I saw the Madden Cruiser, and my eyes got big. Like, whoa, the Madden Cruiser is here. The guy would not fly to games, but he had a professional drivers driving him to each game, and yeah, you know, I thought I was going to be able to see John Madden, but I didn't. I never got to meet him. But rest in peace, John Madden, man. What do you got to say about that, man? I'm sure I left a whole bunch of things out, but say what you got to say, man, about John Madden.
Coach's Viewpoint just said it in the comments. He loved Joe Montana. He thought Joe Montana was the greatest ever, up until, Brady, of course. And when I think of the 49ers during the 80s and into the 90s, I think of John Madden and Pat Summerall. I don't know if you saw the highlight during the game when they showed Super Bowl 24 when the Niners whitewashed Denver 55-10, and he was kind of doing his normal, squiggling on the field and showing how Jerry Rice got open for the touchdown.
I saw that. So
it was just the whole, the end of the Montana era, the loss to the Giants in the 91 NFC Championship game where we didn't get the three-peat. And then it transitioned into the Steve Young years with the Dallas Cowboys. To me, if anything, signified my youth and 49er football, the great era of the dynasty of 49er football. For any of us who were old enough to experience it, it was John Madden and Pat Summerall. So huge loss. It was funny. He was funny and had levity, but at the same time, he knew his X's and O's just as well as anybody else. So it's the perfect. He was like if you could create a perfect commentator who had humor, levity, and the smarts, John Madden. So yeah, him and Pat Summerall, there'll never be anything like him. I love Al Michaels. He's one of my favorites too, but no one will be able to ever touch John Madden. Rest in peace, big man.
Rest in peace, John Madden. And watch the Niner games without John Madden announcing. And sure, as good as whatever Niner team you can have drop, and hey, if we win the Super Bowls, fine, that'd be great. But not having John Madden commentate on those games, I'm sorry, something's missing. I'm sorry. There's never, ever gonna be an announcer as good as John Madden. I don't care what anybody has to tell me about that. Yeah, we definitely had to give him a shout out. I was gonna say, oh yeah, John Madden. By the way, when he was a kid, he's from the Bay Area. By the way, he grew up in the Bay Area in Daly City. And Daly City is literally right on the border of where Candlestick was. It's like Candlestick is like in this most southern part of San Francisco, and so he used to actually. Now keep in mind, Candlestick didn't exist when he was a kid, but he even said in interviews, I forgot what documentary it was, but he said he used to sneak into games at Kezar Stadium. So he was a 49er fan. The 49ers were playing at Kezar. John Madden was a 49er fan. I don't care what anybody says. He may have coached the Raiders, but you could watch the video where T.O. makes the catch 2, and hear John Madden's call on that. How happy, how elated he was for Steve Young and T.O. Man, John Madden is something special. We are all blessed as football fans, as NFL fans, as human beings. I wish I could have met the guy. I actually ate at one of his restaurants because he owned a piece in Outback Steakhouse franchise at one point. So one of the locations I used to go to from time to time in San Jose was actually partially owned by him. But I definitely had to give John Madden that salute. It's probably not as good as I wanted it to be. It's off the cuff. I didn't write anything down. I should have had a better graphic on the screen, but hey, I did have his picture.
It's fine.
But he does. The NFL all week, all today. Throughout all the games, all the teams honor John Madden. They throw him up on the jumbotron, and he deserves it, man. He definitely deserves it. We can't talk enough about the guy.
Couldn't have said it better myself. 100% agree.
Oh yeah. So we've had a long show. I really, really appreciate you having on. I appreciate everybody in the chat.
Thank you.
Yeah, and Coach said John made the Candlestick Park games special. Gonna miss him. Oh yeah, the Candlestick games were just, and the games itself were legendary. They didn't even need announcing, but then you throw John Madden's announcing on top of it. It's just like wow. Like we were so spoiled as fans. But again, if you guys don't know who Aaron is the host of 49ers First Takes on YouTube. Great guy, runs a great podcast. He has the best mic now, so you can hear him loud and clear.
You can hear me sounding like Kermit, all 100% clarity.
Or Ray Romano.
Ray
right?
Romano, whichever you want to pick.
Yeah, Kermit Romano. I don't know, but
Kermit Romano. That's perfect. Yeah. That's gonna be my new name tag on YouTube.
Right. So I put the links to his social media in the video description for this show. And so if you don't know who he is, subscribe to him on YouTube, check him out on Instagram, check him out on Twitter, without a doubt. Again, shout out to everybody in the chat. And I'm going to read one more thing right here because Coach knows Steve Mariucci, by the way.
That's
and so
awesome.
He's got plenty of stories. Says he lived a block from my uncle in Daly City. I met him once in San Francisco with Steve Mariucci at a bocce ball tournament. All-star cast that day. He was always the center of attention in the middle. Yeah, Steve Mariucci always ran that bocce ball tournament, so I'm sure you met plenty of awesome dudes there in those tournaments. And he says, Aaron's a very good dude. I listen to him when I can. I like his positive takes. Great fan of podcaster. And send your shout outs to his sister. Pray for her. His sister's came down with COVID, so she needs all the prayers she can get. And hopefully she has good health. And that pretty much wraps it up. So you got any final words?
I will be on, I think, tomorrow with Rob Shue on his channel. I haven't been on my channel as much because I've been dealing with some personal things with mental health. So I have scaled back some of my live content. I still put up content, but it's just not live. But I might go live this week as we talk about the final game of the regular season. But I will be on Rob Shue's channel, I think, tomorrow. I'm just looking for the semantics of whatever it's going to be and when it's going to be and all that. And I'll share that on my community tab for you guys. So stay tuned for that. Me and Rob, I love going on Rob's channel. So it's definitely going to be fun.
Rob Shue's pretty good. Pretty damn good. Yeah.
His channel's blowing. We're lucky, Bashar. 49er YouTube is like, we are loaded with content creators, man. So it's a good place.
Yeah. It's a buffet of content creators, like Niner Sickness says. Again, thank you. Thanks to everybody in the chat. You guys are awesome. Oh, Luke Luna just popped on late.
What's up, Luke?
I was just about to shut it down, but I want to say what's up to this guy. Says Trey didn't win the job versus lesser competition. Jimmy's ready. I loved how Trey progressed, but versus playoff competition. Yeah, I just don't think Jimmy's going to play. But with that said, thanks for hopping on late. Appreciate everybody in the chat. Appreciate my guest, Aaron, for 49ers Takes. Thank you for watching 49er Minded, where we get into the minds of 49er fans. And like I always say, keep repping those 49ers and stay 49er minded. Peace. Peace. Come on, 49er fans, let's get it.
Because it's 49er mind.
We gotta do this one time for the Empire.
It's 49er mind. It's 49er mind.
We gotta get that brick by brick done quick.
49er mind.
Yo, we can't listen to them haters, man.
49er mind.
We from the Bay.
49er mind.
We them San Francisco 49ers.
49er mind.
We got that red and gold blood inside us.
49er mind.